Hey Bougie, click. Are you taking relationship advice from a bitter Betty? Listening to relationship insights from those nursing past hurts might not be the best course of action for your love life. Women who can't shake off their bitterness frequently bear the baggage of unresolved past relationship dilemmas that sway their perspective. People entrenched in bitterness may project their own problems onto your situation, offering advice colored by their insecurities and unresolved emotions, which may not align with your best interest. Bitter women and relationship sabotage. The negative sentiments of envy and resentment can occasionally lead women to undermine others, including persuading them to eject men from their lives. Here are specific instances of how this might occur. Undermining relationships. Jealous women might give advice that subtly undermines their friends' relationships. For example, they might suggest focusing solely on personal goals and decentering men, not out of genuine concern, but to create distance between their friend and her partner. Highlighting negatives. They might emphasize the negative aspects of having a partner, such as the emotional labor involved, to make their friend feel that being in a relationship is more trouble than it's worth. Promoting independence for the wrong reasons. While promoting independence and self-focus can be positive, doing so out of jealousy can be harmful. The advice might be framed as empowering, but the underlying motive is to keep their friends single and less happy. Creating doubts. By constantly questioning the friend's relationship choices and pointing out potential flaws in their partner, they can create doubts and insecurities that lead to decentering men. It's important to critically evaluate the advice you receive and consider the motivations behind it. Genuine advice aimed at promoting self-worth and independence is valuable, but advice rooted in jealousy can be damaging. Bitter women sabotaging other women. Ladies, it's time for a reality check. Women sometimes intentionally sabotage each other with misguided relationship counsel. Here's a breakdown of some typical situations. Insecurity and jealousy. Some women might feel insecure or jealous of their friends' potential happiness and success in relationships. This can lead them to give advice that subtly undermines their friends' confidence or choices. Projection of personal experiences. Women might project their own negative experiences onto their friends. If someone has had a bad experience with a particular type of person or situation, they might advise their friend to avoid similar scenarios, even if it's not applicable. Lack of understanding. Sometimes, women give bad advice simply because they don't fully understand the dynamics of their friend's relationship or the nuances of dating in general. They might offer advice based on stereotypes or outdated beliefs. Misguided protection. Out of a desire to protect their friends, some women might give overly cautious or conservative advice. This can inadvertently prevent their friends from taking risks that could lead to positive outcomes. Competition. In some cases, there might be an underlying sense of competition. If a woman feels that her friend finding a great partner would make her own single status more noticeable, she might give advice that keeps her friends single too. Sabotaging relationships. Jealous women might give bad advice or interfere in relationships to create tension and conflict. This can lead to misunderstandings and breakups. Promoting unrealistic standards. Suggesting that someone hold out for a perfect partner who meets every single criterion can prevent them from forming meaningful connections with real, imperfect people. Undermining confidence. Giving advice that makes someone doubt their worth or attractiveness can erode their self-esteem and make them feel less deserving of a good relationship. Fostering distrust. Encouraging someone to be overly suspicious or mistrustful of their partner can create unnecessary tension and conflict in a relationship. Discouraging vulnerability. Advising someone to always play it cool and never show their true feelings can prevent deep emotional connections from forming. These behaviors often stem from personal insecurities, past experiences, or a desire to maintain a certain social dynamic. It's important to seek advice from trusted, supportive friends who have your best interests at heart. It's important to critically evaluate the advice you receive and consider whether it aligns with your own values and experiences. Certain women facing challenges in relationships may form circles of conversation where misguided advice, driven by resentment, is shared, leading to a harmful cycle of romantic setbacks. Some women exhibit aspects of toxic femininity and promote their views as empowering, which can be detrimental, particularly for those trapped in a cycle of male contempt due to negative dating experiences with a few men. Bitter women pretend to be happy and strong. Bitter women pretend to be strong for several reasons. Self-protection. Pretending to be strong can be a defense mechanism to protect themselves from further hurt or disappointment. By appearing strong, they may feel less vulnerable to criticism or rejection. Social expectations. Society often values strength and resilience, and women might feel pressured to conform to these expectations. Showing vulnerability can sometimes be perceived as weakness, so they put on a facade of strength. Fear of judgment. Women might fear being judged or pitted if they show their true emotion. Pretending to be strong can help them avoid negative perceptions from others. Maintaining control. Acting strong can give a sense of control over their lives and emotion. It can be a way to manage the chaos and uncertainty they might feel internally. Avoiding conflict. By appearing strong, women might hope to avoid conflicts or confrontations that could arise from expressing their true feelings. Seeking approval. Pretending to be strong can be a way to gain approval or admiration from others. They might believe that being seen as strong will earn them respect and validation. While putting on a facade of strength can provide temporary relief, it often leads to further emotional strain and disconnection from one's true self. Embracing vulnerability and seeking support can be more beneficial in the long run. Bitter women hate happy women in relationships. Women harboring bitterness may interact with happier counterparts in a multitude of manners, typically driven by their own unsettled feelings and past occurrences. Let's delve into some prevalent conduct patterns. Jealousy. They might feel envious of the happiness and positivity that happy women exude. Criticism. Bitter women may criticize or belittle happy women, trying to bring them down to their level of negativity. Avoidance. Sometimes, they might avoid happy women altogether, as being around them can highlight their own unhappiness. Passive-aggressive behavior. This can include making sarcastic remarks or giving backhanded compliments. Undermining. They might try to undermine the achievements or happiness of others, either subtly or overtly. Spreading negativity. Bitter individuals often spread negativity, which can affect the mood and atmosphere around them. Understanding these behaviors can help in navigating interactions with bitter individuals. It's important to maintain your own positivity and not let their negativity impact you. Bitter women lie. Bitter women may tell themselves different lies to justify their single status in comparison to other women. These self-deceptions can act as coping strategies to safeguard their self-esteem. Here are a few common ones. All the good men are taken. This belief can help them avoid facing the possibility that they might need to change their approach or expectations. I'm too independent for a relationship. While independence is a positive trait, using it as a reason for being single can sometimes mask deeper fears of vulnerability or intimacy. Men are intimidated by me. This can be a way to explain why relationships haven't worked out, without considering other factors that might be at play. I'm just too busy for a relationship. While being busy is a valid reason, it can also be an excuse to avoid the emotional risks involved in dating. Other women settle for less. This belief can help them feel superior to others, even if it means staying single. I'm waiting for the perfect man. This can be a way to justify not engaging in relationships, avoiding the potential for disappointment. Relationships are too much drama. This can be a way to avoid the emotional work required to build and maintain a healthy relationship. These lies can prevent personal growth and the development of healthier relationship patterns. Recognizing and addressing these self-deceptions can be a crucial step toward finding fulfilling relationships. Bitter women give bad advice. Recognizing when a bitter woman is purposely giving you bad romantic advice can be tricky, but there are some telltale signs to watch out for. Consistent negativity. If her advice always focuses on the negative aspects of your relationship or potential partners, it might be influenced by her own bitterness. She may highlight flaws or potential problems without offering constructive solutions. Undermining your confidence. Advice that makes you doubt yourself or your relationship can be a red flag. Bitter individuals might intentionally give advice that undermines your confidence to keep you from feeling secure and happy. Inconsistent advice. If her advice changes frequently or seems contradictory, it might indicate that she is not genuinely trying to help you. Instead, she might be giving advice based on her fluctuating emotions or personal vendettas. Self-centered advice. If the advice seems to benefit her more than you, it might be a sign of ulterior motives. Bitter individuals might offer advice that aligns with their own interests rather than considering what is best for you. Gossip and rumors. Bitter people often engage in gossip and spread rumors. If her advice is based on hearsay or seems aimed at creating drama, it might be coming from a place of bitterness. Frequent criticism. If her advice is overly critical or judgmental, it could be coming from a place of bitterness. She might criticize your partner or your choices without offering any positive feedback. Lack of empathy. If she seems indifferent to your feelings or situation, it could be a sign that her advice is not in your best interest. Bitter people may struggle to empathize with others and might offer advice that serves their own agenda rather than yours. When the bitter woman is in his family. Couples exist within social circles of friends and family, who can influence the longevity or initiation of relationships through their words and actions. Research indicates that a significant 56% of individuals have intentionally interfered in other people's relationships, aiming to cause a split. For what reason? It could be a blend of genuine concern, wisdom, or, regrettably, good old prejudice. Despite hurtling through the 21st century at a rapid pace, some family members still react skeptically to interracial dating. The influence of narcissistic family members and sadistic friends can pose a significant threat to your relationship. These individuals, often believing they have superior insights, tend to overlook the emotional needs of your partner in favor of their own relatives. Not only do they limit the couple's opportunities for development, but they also promote the allure of other potential partners. Friends with sadistic tendencies behave in much the same way, likely due to their dislike for their friend's partner. Their aim? To instigate a breakup. If these narcissistic family members or sadistic friends exclude your partner from gatherings or suggest that your life would improve by dating someone else, your relationship could be adversely affected. Trust your instincts and seek advice from multiple sources. If you suspect someone is giving you bad advice, consider discussing your concerns with a trusted friend or mentor who can provide a more balanced perspective. Family doesn't always know best. Recognizing when your family doesn't have your best interests in mind regarding your romantic relationship can be challenging. Here are some signs to look out for. Constant criticism. If your family frequently criticizes your partner without valid reasons, it might indicate they don't support your relationship. Lack of support. When your family doesn't offer emotional or practical support for your relationship, it can be a sign they don't have your best interests at heart. Ignoring boundaries. If your family disregards your boundaries and interferes in your relationship, it shows a lack of respect for your choices. Conditional love. If their love and support seem conditional on you ending the relationship, it suggests they may not be considering your happiness. Isolation. If they try to isolate you from your partner or make you choose between them and your partner, it's a red flag. Negative assumptions. Making negative assumptions about your partner without getting to know them can indicate a lack of genuine concern for your well-being. Emotional incest. Emotional incest, also known as covert incest, occurs when a parent relies on their child for emotional support that should come from another adult. This dynamic can blur boundaries and create an unhealthy relationship. Here are some key aspects. Role reversal. The parent treats the child as a surrogate partner, seeking emotional intimacy and support from them. Lack of boundaries. Boundaries between parent and child are often blurred or non-existent, leading to an inappropriate level of emotional dependency. Emotional burden. The child may feel obligated to fulfill the parent's emotional needs, leading to feelings of guilt and entrapment. Long-term effects. This dynamic can impact the child's self-esteem, relationships, and emotional well-being into adulthood. Emotional incest between siblings, while less commonly discussed, can still have significant impacts. Here are some key points to understand. Blurred boundaries. Emotional incest involves blurred boundaries where one sibling relies excessively on the other for emotional support, often inappropriately. Role confusion. One sibling may take on a parental or partner-like role, leading to confusion and unhealthy dynamics. Emotional burden. The sibling providing support may feel overwhelmed and burdened by the emotional needs of the other. Long-term effects. This dynamic can affect the emotional development and future relationships of both siblings, leading to issues with boundaries, self-esteem, and intimacy. Emotional incest, or covert incest, can have significant negative impacts on romantic relationships. Here are some ways it might manifest. Trust issues. Individuals who experienced emotional incest may struggle with trust in their romantic relationships. They might find it hard to believe that their partner's intentions are genuine. Boundary problems. Growing up with blurred boundaries can make it difficult to establish and maintain healthy boundaries in adult relationships. This can lead to either overly dependent or overly distant dynamics. Intimacy challenges. Emotional incest can create confusion around emotional and physical intimacy. Individuals might either avoid intimacy altogether or rush into it without proper emotional connection. Self-esteem issues. Being placed in an adult role as a child can impact self-esteem and self-worth, leading to feelings of inadequacy or unworthiness in romantic relationships. Emotional burden. Those who were emotionally burdened as children might continue to take on excessive emotional responsibility in their adult relationships, leading to imbalance and resentment. Guilt and shame. Feelings of guilt and shame from the past can carry over into romantic relationships, making it difficult to fully engage and trust in the relationship. Therapy can help individuals understand and heal from the impacts of emotional incest, establish healthy boundaries, and build fulfilling romantic relationships. Handling bad advice from family. Handling bad relationship advice from family can be tricky, but here are some strategies to help you navigate it. Listen respectfully. Even if you disagree, listening respectfully can help maintain family harmony. You don't have to follow their advice, but acknowledging their perspective can prevent unnecessary conflict. Set boundaries. Politely but firmly set boundaries about discussing your relationship. Let them know you appreciate their concern but prefer to handle your relationship issues privately. Evaluate the advice. Consider the source and motivation behind the advice. Sometimes, family members project their own fears or experiences onto your situation. Communicate openly. If their advice is causing stress, seek external support. Sometimes, talking to a neutral third party, like a therapist or a trusted friend, can provide a more balanced perspective. Trust your judgment. Ultimately, you know your relationship best. Trust your instincts and make decisions based on what feels right for you. Balancing family dynamics with your own needs can be challenging, but it's important to prioritize your well-being and the health of your relationship. Entitlement leads to bitterness. Bitterness and feelings of entitlement in relationships can stem from various psychological and emotional factors. Here are some reasons why some women might feel they deserve better, even when they have a good partner. Narcissism. In some cases, narcissistic tendencies can lead to a constant search for something better, regardless of the quality of the current relationship. Past trauma. Negative past experiences can lead to bitterness. If someone has been hurt before, they might carry that pain into new relationships, feeling they deserve more to compensate for past suffering. Entitlement mentality. Some individuals develop a sense of entitlement, believing they deserve special treatment or better circumstances regardless of their actions or contributions. Unresolved emotional issues. Unresolved issues like low self-esteem or insecurity can manifest as bitterness. They might project these feelings onto their partner, believing they deserve more to feel validated. Comparison and envy. Constantly comparing their relationship to others, especially idealized versions seen on social media, can lead to dissatisfaction and the belief that they deserve better. Lack of self-awareness. Sometimes, people aren't fully aware of their own flaws and shortcomings. This lack of self-awareness can lead to unrealistic expectations and feelings of entitlement. Cynicism. A cynical outlook on relationships can make someone believe that no relationship is good enough, leading to constant dissatisfaction. Unrealistic expectations. Sometimes, having unrealistic expectations about relationships can set one up for disappointment and bitterness when reality doesn't match those expectations. Personal insecurities and low self-esteem can cause individuals to seek validation from their partners, leading to dependency and disappointment when their needs aren't met. Mismatch in values and goals, differences in core values, life goals, or priorities can lead to conflicts and unmet expectations. It's important for partners to align on fundamental aspects of life. Selfishness and lack of empathy. When one or both partners prioritize their own needs over the relationship, it can create an imbalance and lead to feelings of neglect and frustration. External pressures, societal, cultural, or familial expectations can place undue stress on relationships, leading to conflicts and unmet expectations. Lack of communication. Giving your partner the silent treatment instead of talking things out causes problems to fester. Always feeling like your partner should apologize first or chase after you even if you are in the wrong. Poor communication can lead to misunderstandings and unresolved conflicts, fostering bitterness. How to avoid bitterness. Avoiding bitterness in romantic relationships involves proactive communication, self-awareness, and mutual respect. Here are some strategies to help you maintain a healthy and positive outlook. Communicate openly, address issues as they arise rather than letting them fester. Open and honest communication can prevent misunderstandings and resentment from building up. Set realistic expectations. Understand that no relationship is perfect. Setting realistic expectations for yourself and your partner can help you navigate challenges without feeling disappointed or bitter. Focus on the positive. Make a conscious effort to focus on the positive aspects of your relationship. Celebrate your partner's strengths and the good times you share together. Take responsibility. Acknowledge your role in any conflicts or issues. Taking responsibility for your actions can help you feel more in control and less resentful. Seek balance. Ensure that both partners are contributing equally to the relationship. Imbalances in effort or responsibility can lead to feelings of resentment. Self-care. Take care of your own emotional and physical well-being. When you feel good about yourself, you're less likely to become bitter. Seek support. If you're struggling with feelings of bitterness, consider talking to a trusted friend, counselor, or therapist. They can provide a fresh perspective and help you work through your emotions. Let go of control. Accept that you cannot control everything in your relationship. Letting go of the need to control can reduce stress and help you focus on what truly matters. Practice forgiveness. Holding on to grudges can lead to bitterness. Learning to forgive your partner for their mistakes, and yourself for yours, can help you move forward positively. Stay present. Focus on the present moment rather than dwelling on past hurts or worrying about the future. Mindfulness practices can help you stay grounded and appreciate your relationship as it is. By implementing these strategies, you can foster a healthier, more fulfilling relationship and avoid the pitfalls of bitterness. What do you think? Is a bitter woman trying to sabotage your love life? Let me know in the comment section. Stay bougie.